Paper Pro is a dedicated replacement for paper and notebooks and nothing more. But after I started using it, it feels like it's even more niche than that. Even within the scope of writing, there are very clear performance distinctions. The reMarkable Paper Pro has been out for about 2 months now, and there are plenty of technical reviews. But how does it actually perform? Can reMarkable's claim of replacing paper truly translate into real life use cases and scenarios, especially for productivity and knowledge management? I've been using Paper Pro since launch, and the experience was disappointing. Every feature that reMarkable has promoted is individually factual and accurate. However, the experience that they amalgamate to seems to sound good only on paper. First, their biggest USP, the writing feel. It is very nice. The screen is textured so there is no sleep, and it makes a subtle but satisfying scratchy sound when you write, almost like pencil on index cards. I'm using the Marker Plus, so it comes with an eraser tip. I'm not sure if it's just my device, but it feels like the screen is not evenly textured. When erasing, there are areas with distinct drag, most noticeable around the edges of the screen. It's not a big deal, but it does take away from the overall writing experience. However, all these are vanity features. There is more to analog writing than just the feel of it. If you are looking for more than just the pen to paper experience and you want to recreate the same state of mindfulness that comes with analog writing, I think some expectations will need to be managed here. The biggest aspect is tangible permanence. Analog writing is irreversible. When you strike out a mistake or use correction tape to make a revision, the entire journey is captured in all its glory. Because of this, we have to be more deliberate and attentive when writing. Each stroke on paper holds more weight than pixels on the screen. And reMarkable Paper Pro, as well as all other digital devices, have no penalty for careless or sloppy words. You can simply erase or undo to return to a clean state. I think how much this affects you depends on your use case. If you are using this for work, then clean edits will be a bonus. However, when it comes to note taking, there are times that I find myself being flippant instead of writing with more intent because of this freedom. Next, let's talk about replacing paper. If you are mostly working with archival tasks, independent work that are one-off or close-ended, and require very little cross-referencing, then reMarkable Paper Pro is a great aggregator. However, if you are working with more dynamic tasks that have dependencies between documents or require regular updates, for example, a commonplace book or for knowledge management, then there are some things for you to consider. Portability is an issue. reMarkable Paper Pro is big, it's heavy, and it is fragile. It's not exactly something that you can throw into a bag or stuff into your pocket. It's not made to be durable. It's meant to be pampered. Even if you're using it to take notes at work, because of reMarkable Paper Pro's specialized function, you'll likely also have to bring along your laptop. And since you can't search for handwritten notes, at some point I start to wonder if I'm better off sticking to Notion or Obsidian. And besides, text files are also much lighter than PDFs. There is also a delay when you are toggling between documents. Overall, e-ink devices do not offer the same seamless experience as their digital counterparts. So you have to factor in screen refresh and the less sensitive, i.e. unreliable gesture recognition. On top of that, there is no split screen function. So it's quite frustrating when you are trying to move the document around or switch between different notebooks while holding the thought in your head. That said, I think it's perfectly fine if your use case primarily focuses on isolated or close-ended tasks. Next, let's talk about the reading experience. reMarkable Paper Pro is not ebook friendly. There is no integration with any ebook providers or services such as Kindle or Libby. If you really want to, you can manually download and transfer DRM-free ebooks for your perusal, but you are really much better off reading from an ebook reader. Highlights and annotations that you make on Paper Pro will not be aggregated nor tagged to specific locations in your ebook. Whatever notes you made is saved as a layer in the same ebook file, and remember, handwriting is not searchable. So, if you want to revisit your notes, you will probably have to flip through the entire book to find what you need. I've also tried to capture notes in a separate file, but as mentioned earlier, Paper Pro is really not built for toggling between multiple documents. To make full use of Paper Pro's color function, I've also downloaded a few magazines, and the experience is interesting. The initial excitement faded away quite quickly when I realized how low resolution the screen is, especially for text on colored backgrounds. It's still legible, but it's not crisp. And given the delay in screen refresh, it's not the most pleasant experience to zoom in and out every single page. Similar to ebooks, any annotations that you make cannot be aggregated, tagged to location, or easily exported by themselves. While you can technically hide the background layer to only show annotations that you've made, it's honestly quite a hassle, and I feel this is a big missed opportunity for a note-taking device. Lastly, a few miscellaneous points before we get to why I'm not returning this yet. reMarkable Paper Pro boasted a 2-week battery life. I think this is only achievable if you use the front light very sparingly and have the Wi-Fi connection perpetually turned off. This means that you'll be losing out on the syncing function, effectively disabling cross-platform work. The handwriting-to-text conversion is also cloud-based, which means that you will need Wi-Fi connection every time you want to use it. Besides eating into the battery life, it is also a pretty basic model that often requires moderate amount of cleanup. This is important if you are hoping to convert all your handwriting notes to text for searchability or archival. Initially, I was intending to integrate reMarkable Paper Pro into my hybrid Zettelkasten workflow. I was planning to handwrite all my BIP and literature notes on Paper Pro and then convert to text and import into Obsidian, which I'm using to store the reference section. I don't think I have terrible handwriting, but I still had to make several adjustments to improve the conversion accuracy. I really wish that it retained some alignment structures such as indentation or headers. I figured that it makes more sense for me to just capture directly in Obsidian itself than to be constantly worried about how legibly I'm writing and spending time on cleanup. In summary, reMarkable Paper Pro and its minimalism is very good at keeping you focused on the page, making it very ideal for free writing or journaling where you just let your words take over. It is also very useful for archival tasks such as reading disposable reports and signing documents. The common denominator here is close-ended, independent work. Any writings that you do for these tasks do not need to be extracted from its original document and will simply serve as a reference. In these scenarios, Paper Pro lives up to its claim of being distraction-free. However, when it comes to more dynamic work, anything that requires toggling between documents on the device itself or a growing notebook that you will constantly need to refer to or edit, then I guess it becomes a matter of preference. It's certainly doable, but it's slow and it doesn't feel like it's optimized for this kind of tasks. I think there is a fine line between elegance and hindrance when it comes to simplicity in design. Elegant simplicity prioritizes the relationship between product and users. The design amplifies performance by eliminating distractions and unnecessary decisions to allow users to stay focused on high-value tasks. Hindering simplicity prioritizes the product over the user. As a result, users constantly lose focus on their actual task as they often find themselves distracted with trying to make the limited functionalities work. And I find reMarkable Paper Pro towing the line between elegance and hindrance depending on what I'm using it for. I bought this knowing that it's a niche product. Paper Pro is a dedicated replacement for paper and notebooks and nothing more. But after I started using it, it feels like it's even more niche than that. Even within the scope of writing, there are very clear performance distinctions. Replacing paper is a tall and ambitious order. Paper is more than the feeling of writing. It's a medium that offers endless possibilities and accessibility, all while remaining intuitive and modular. reMarkable Paper Pro definitely has closely mimicked the pen-to-paper experience, but paper and notebooks remain indispensable for me. You might be wondering, with so much hate, why am I keeping it? Well, with the understanding of what scenarios reMarkable Paper Pro works best in, I've limited or scoped down my usage. I do enjoy journaling, doodling, and planning my day with it. I also enjoy writing beep and lit notes, but I'm no longer looking to convert them to text. Instead, I leverage the digital flexibility of Paper Pro to group and reorder my notes. However, I'm keeping to analog for my commonplace book as it's simply too tedious to toggle and browse on Paper Pro, and I don't read on it at all. So, is it worth it? Well, it's definitely a luxury product. You don't need it, and it doesn't boost your productivity significantly unless your primary use case aligns with its sweet spot. Does it empower me to take more notes or journal more? Maybe. I really do have fun writing on it. I hope this is helpful, and if you'd like to see more content like this, do like and subscribe as you really help this channel out. See you in the next video.